Now, a small discussion on emulsions. See, emulsions are, as you know, emulsions are liquid in liquid colloidal solutions. This is a colloidal solution in which both disperse phase and dispersion medium both are liquids. And remember, emulsion, the term emulsion is used for those colloidal solutions in which one of the components is water. If one of the components is water, the other component has to be a liquid which is immiscible in water. Such a liquid here is described as oil. So, you have a mixture of oil and water. If you mix these two substances and shake it vigorously, then the resulting substance, the colloidal solution which is obtained as a result of this, is called as emulsion. So, do not take oil technically. Here oil means any liquid which is immiscible with water. Now, emulsions are classified into two types: oil in water emulsion, water in oil emulsion. Here dispersion medium is water, this is dispersion medium. So, if you have small droplets of oil in a continuous water, I mean aqueous dispersion medium, then you call it oil in water emulsion. Here you have droplets of water in oil. So, here dispersion medium is oil, you call it water in oil emulsion. The continuous phase is oil, here the continuous phase is water. Now, I would like to give you some examples of oil in water emulsion or daily life examples. First, we will take up examples of oil in water emulsions. Milk is a case of oil in water emulsion. Cold cream is also oil in water emulsion. Water in oil. Example is grease. Well, grease is a popular example of water in oil emulsion. Here you have lesser quantity of water and more quantity of oil. So, this consists of small water droplets in oil dispersion medium. Now, how to identify whether a particular emulsion is oil in water type or water in oil type? Identification of emulsion. There are two ways you can identify a particular emulsion, whether it is water in oil or oil in water emulsion. Number one is dilution test. Dilution test. Remember, an emulsion can be diluted by adding dispersion medium. If you add disperse phase to an emulsion, it will form a separate layer. So, we can dilute an emulsion by adding dispersion medium only. If an emulsion can be diluted by adding water, then you can say it is oil in water emulsion. If it can be diluted by adding oil, then you can say it is water in oil emulsion. So, this is one test. Another test is called as dye test. Dye test. Here we make use of some oil soluble dye. If you add a drop of oil soluble dye to an emulsion, if the entire background becomes colored, then you can say that oil is the dispersion medium. If you get discrete colored particles, then you can say oil is the disperse phase. So, these are the two tests for emulsions to know whether it is a oil in water emulsion or water in oil emulsion. Now, another thing you are supposed to know is emulsions are generally unstable. If you on long standing, emulsions separate into two layers, oil and water gets separated. So, in order to stabilize an emulsion, we need to add a third substance which is called as emulsifying agent or emulsifier. Emulsifier, the role of emulsifier is to stabilize an emulsion. So, emulsifier should be a substance which should have complementary nature in its molecule. It should have hydrophobicity and philicity. In this way, it can be a connecting link between disperse phase and dispersion medium. As I told you, emulsifiers are the substances emulsifiers stabilize emulsions. So, in an emulsion generally you have three components. One is oil, the other one is water, the third component is the one which will stabilize the emulsion. Now, these are examples of emulsifiers. Examples of emulsifiers. For oil in water emulsion, you can use a small amount of protein or any gum or gelatin. Even soaps can also emulsify oil in water emulsion. For your information, soap can emulsify both types of emulsions. It can emulsify oil in water as well as water in oil emulsion. It can stabilize both types of emulsions. Now, this is fatty acid salt. It should be a heavy metal. M is a metal and M has to be a heavy metal, and R should be a long chain alkyl group. So, it is a fatty acid. When it is a long chain, you call it fatty acid. And then fatty alcohols. Fatty alcohols means long chain alcohols. Soaps, lampblack, these substances can stabilize water in oil emulsion. There is a substance by name casein. This is the substance which is present in milk and it is responsible for stabilization of emulsion, that is milk. Let us look at some examples of colloids around us. Number one is sky. The blue color of sky is due to the colloidal solution which is formed due to dust particles in the atmosphere. Then the food items, milk, jam, butter, cheese, these are also colloidal solutions. And then some medicines. In medicines you have silver sol. Silver sol is used in eye drops. Gold sol. Gold sol is given as injection for rheumatic pain. So, these are examples of colloids which you find daily. Sky, the blue color of the sky is due to atmospheric air forming a colloidal solution due to dust particles. Milk, jam, these are the food items which are again colloids. Some medicines are colloidal substances like silver sol, gold sol are colloidal substances. Other examples are our blood is a colloidal substance, colloidal solution, and you have clouds. Clouds are also colloids. Clouds are aerosols. In the air you have small water droplets which are of colloidal dimension. Now, let us talk about few advantages of colloids. Sometimes the colloidal solutions as such are useful to us, and sometimes their coagulation will be of use to us. For example, number one, you can see delta formation. Delta formation is a case of coagulation. River water is a flowing water, it carries silicates which carry negative charge. So, the river water can be treated as a colloidal solution having negatively charged colloidal particles. When the river water enters into the sea, the clay particles will get coagulated due to the electrolytes present in the sea water, and due to this coagulation a patch of fertile land is created which is called as delta. Rain, which is caused due to coagulation of clouds. Number 3, in the sewage treatment also coagulation is involved. See, the sludge particles, sludge settles down, the particles present in the sewage carry charge. You put charged electrodes in the path of sewage, then these charged particles will fall down and form a sludge which can be removed, and a clear water flows from the sewage after treatment. Then number 4 is Cottrell smoke precipitator. Here also coagulation of smoke takes place in the, it is attached to the chimney of furnaces, it is attached to the chimney of factories. Here what happens, when the smoke enters, it comes in contact with heavily charged plates, and the charged particles present in the smoke will get discharged, and they fall down, and clear air comes out of the chimney. Number 5, as I told you already, medicines, especially silver sol and gold sol, and then you have ointments, lotions, creams. These are also colloidal solutions. Ointments, lotions, creams are also colloidal solutions. Application of medicine in the form of ointments, lotions or creams becomes very easy. They cover more surface area. So these are few advantages of colloids. With this, we have come to an end of discussion on surface chemistry. We have talked about adsorption, we have discussed about catalysis, we have also discussed about colloids. Under colloids, we have talked about emulsions also. Thank you.